Hey everyone, I'm Lucy St. John. I'm so excited to be here with you talking about a topic that really speaks to me. I personally have been experiencing perimenopause, and it seems to be the topic of conversation with all of my friends and colleagues right now. So we're doing this wonderful series on yoga for perimenopause. There's a lot of different aspects that can help us in perimenopause. So this particular class will be on really high quality strength building. Typically, we can have strength building, but on compensations and kind of patterns in our bodies that aren't actually helpful or useful. So a lot of what we're going to be doing in this class is really focusing and workshopping on how to build strength and start to build awareness about, are you moving from a place of compensation, which is the great intelligence of the body, and can you start to move from a place that is truly a good foundation for strength building? So let's begin in a comfortable seated posture. You can roll your shoulders up, back, and down. You can tick-tock your neck. And if sitting cross-legged doesn't work, please feel free to stretch out a leg or sit in a different way. And we'll just start by circling your spine around your pelvis. And whatever we do together, see if you can do this work in a way that is enjoyable and comfortable for you. That actually might be one of the biggest and most important things in practicing yoga, is that your nervous system feels comfortable and safe. Okay, let's start to move in the other direction. Notice the relationship between your pelvis and your spine, and just starting to feel that relationship. So when I say pelvis, I mean these bones here compared to your ribs and that feeling of your low back. Yeah. Okay. Take one more circle like that. And then let's grab the doweling. If you don't have a doweling at home, that's okay. You can just put your arms like this, maybe palms together. The doweling will help you just to keep stable. And then just gently twist to one side. It doesn't matter if you're going to the right or left first. And start to notice, the reason why the dowel is so helpful here is the dowel will show if you twist and tip one side up. That's what we would call a compensation. So see what it feels like just to twist side to side. And I got this beautiful practice, this particular way of teaching the twist from Susie Haitley. So she's a wonderful yoga therapist in Canada. And so just noticing that twist and noticing that relationship between your hip and your ribs. And are you feeling a stretch through the side body? Nice. Okay, wonderful. You can put the doweling to the side if you do have it. If you don't have a doweling, maybe you have a ball, a tennis ball, any kind of ball that you can roll on for later. Let's now begin with our twist, being aware that we're not tilting or shifting the ribs when we twist. It doesn't matter which side you go to. I'm going to twist to your right, so take an inhale and exhale softly, and then see what it feels like. Instead of straightening the arms, bend the elbows. Take a deep breath, and then notice, did you shift the ribs? Are you reaching your neck forward? Can you come back a little? And can you get the same benefit in the posture with about 10% less effort? Taking a deep breath here. And gently come back to the center. If you need to shake a little, you might already notice the difference side to side. We're going to go to a twist on the other side. And again, just checking in, letting your breath be really beautiful and easeful. And then notice if there's any clenching of your jaw or your toes crinkling up. This is all just awareness practice If you're noticing those things, take a breath. See if you can soften. And come on out. Let's come to hands and knees. So move out your props. And if you need something for your knees, please do take that. We'll put the ball and the doweling out to the side for now. We might use them later. And if you don't have that, don't worry about it. We'll manage without it, okay? Tuck your toes under and then just gently press into your feet. And as you come forward, press into your hands. So we're starting to open up these little joints, the ankles and the wrists and the fingers and the toes. And see if you can move kind of with awareness, with a little bit more curiosity than imagining where this is strength building. We are going somewhere here. We're just opening up your joints a little bit. Because as you go into perimenopause, your body does not produce estrogen and your joints start to get quite inflamed. Estrogen has an amazing capacity to reduce inflammation in the body and the joints. That's why a lot of people get things like frozen shoulder as they move into perimenopause. And then when they take a picture with their friends, they can't even put their arm around their friend's shoulder. So a lot of what we're doing, some of this is preventative and some of this is just working with the body once you do have some of those things, if you do have them. Okay, so from here, bring your knees wide, sink your hips back, wiggle your hips. So you're starting to just open a little bit into the hips. You can come down onto forearms or maybe lowering to the head. And again, we're just feeling into how this posture feels first. And allowing the breath to be easy. And then rise up through hands and knees, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up into that nice downward facing dog. And then drop down to your knees and hover. So we're building strength here. Lift the hips up, sink the heels down. And come back to hover. What's happening? What's engaging? Are your shoulders? Is your core engaged? Lift up. Remember, your core is a system. It's not just your abs. So your core includes your pelvic floor, your multifidus back muscle, as well as the abdominals, and don't forget the diaphragm. So if you are having a hard time breathing here, then focus more on breathing than how low your knees go, okay? So let's do that one more time. And then wiggle out your feet. So enjoy that nice stretch through the back of the knees. Nice. And then walk your feet to your hands. Even that can be quite different than it used to be. If you are in perimenopause or menopause, you can grab opposite elbows, or you can have your fingertips on a block or your hands, whatever feels comfortable for you. And you can bend your knees in and out. And then think about tilting your bum up towards the ceiling or even back behind you to get a little bit more fold here. If you don't include the pelvis in your forward fold, then you can only come about here. So if you tuck your tailbone, it doesn't go very far. But if you lift your tailbone up, you go a lot further. And so it's nice to use the pelvis in that situation. All right, so spread your toes. Imagine that you are hugging your inner ankles towards a block or towards the midline. Feel that nice inner leg line strengthening, and then use that beautiful power. Rise up, roll your spine up. Circle your shoulders up, back, and down. Shake out your legs. Take a nice big exhale. Beautiful work. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to start to move with the legs. So bring your feet a little bit wider and just start to notice your hips and what happens. So turn the right foot out. Does your glute engage? You can bring it back in. Try it out. And then your left foot. What's happening here as this femur bone is turning in the hip? Does your whole pelvis twist with you? Does your spine twist with you? Just so we're doing a little bit of workshopping today. So just noticing if those open up and then start to bend your knees. Are your knees shaking here? Are your ankles unstable? This is all just feedback for you. So this isn't about judging your body. This is about just noticing these changes. So bring your elbows to shoulder height, thumbs and fingers touch. And then these three fingers come quite close together. So they're not like this, they're not hanging. They're really solid. And take a deep breath here, noticing that you're starting to build some strength resistance. Okay, you can imagine that you've got someone's hand here, or maybe your hand, and you're pushing your outer adductors, your outer thighs into your hands. Yeah, take a nice deep breath. And if this is easy, of course, you just go lower. However, see if you can do this posture. Get the same results with 10% less effort. See if you can find ease. See if you can find that breath. You know, you've probably heard if you can't breathe in this posture, then maybe come out a little. And that's part of our nervous system. We don't want to be bracing here. So let's come out and release the legs. What happens when people start to do strength building is they brace and tense. And that's actually not as effective as coming out, being relaxed and being able to build strength. They're two different aspects. That's one of the things I love about strength building in yoga. Okay, so again, come to this wide-legged posture. Turn the feet out, okay? Come back into that place. Notice if your glutes fired up at all. Come out. Let's roll on the ball. So you can either roll on the ball against a wall if you have it on your bum, or you can come down on the mat. And see, and then you can also do this with the dowling. This is a little bit more of a weight that we have here, but this dowling will be super effective. And just roll a little bit. Let's see if there is any sort of clogging up of your glute tissue. It's going to make that goddess squat a little bit less accessible, and we won't be gaining the kind of strength that we really want to build a foundation on, especially as we start to move into times of our life where we're dealing with things like osteoporosis, which is that your bones can't create as quickly as they deteriorate. And of course, you can take calcium. There's lots of other things that you can do. However, we're working with yoga today, so we're doing what we can with yoga. Take a nice deep breath. Lots of great research in this field of perimenopause, especially more recently, which is really nice. Really nice for not just people who get perimenopause, but also for the people who are around you who are like, what's up with that big situation, that big emotional mood swing? And it just helps to bring lots of awareness. So come back up, stand up, and let's try that goddess squat again. So first, feet point towards you a little bit wider. Turn your toes out. Do you feel that engagement now of the glute? I bet you do. Try it again. Bring the feet back. Turn the toe out. Wow, I already feel such a difference. And then lower down. How does that feel? You can keep your hands here, or if you like, arms come up. We're here for 12 breaths. If you start bracing, come out early. Come on up. Otherwise, I'm going to help cue you here with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Move at your own pace. Inhale. Exhale. You're doing great. Come out if you need to. 6 more. Lengthen through the spine. Notice if your knees are starting to shake. 3 more. Wide through the collarbones. Spread toes. Big breath. And release that out. Noticing how you come out too. Are you clenching your feet to come out? These are all just awareness pieces for you. And this is a lot of the work I do as a yoga therapist, right? So you're getting some one-on-one workshopping here. Okay, bring your feet wide again. This time we're coming into warrior two. So you're going to turn your front foot, whichever that one is for you, maybe your right foot, out into that warrior two. Notice how even as I turn, did you see how my pelvis just tilted? Very calm. And see if you can turn without tilting the pelvis like that. Interesting. Now we're moving the thigh bone in the pelvis. We're not moving the whole thing together in a sort of, think of it as a stiff way. Okay, start to bend into that front knee. What does that feel like? So you can come in and out. Maybe your knee is a little shaky. Maybe place your hand back here and allow that thigh to press into the hand a little bit. Nice. Okay, bring your arms to a nice wide T. Traditionally, we gaze over that middle finger, keeping the neck long, chin in towards the front of the throat rather than the kind of jutting forward. And again, your torso is going to want to pull forward too. See if you can rise up. Take a deep breath. Press into that back foot. Good. We're here for 4 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you can go deeper. Maybe you come up a little. One more. Now straighten that front leg. Drop the arms. Nicely done. I'm going to heel toe my foot in a little bit. Staying on that same side, I just want you to try something here for a minute. So let the front knee drive this movement. Try to keep the pelvis stable. Okay, so instead of doing that tilting, see if you can kind of keep your pelvis stable. Let this front knee drive you forward. Interesting, yes? I feel a lot more work on that front knee when I do that. Okay, now let this back leg extend. Let this drive the movement. So now that front knee is just following this stretch. Interesting, yes? Take a deep breath. Notice the difference. I get a nice big stretch here. Knee has no compensation there. Okay, let's take the other side. If you need to come back in and shake it out, you can do that. Otherwise, bring your feet wide the way that we started before with the goddess. Now turn that other foot, maybe the left foot, forward to the left. You can adjust that back leg. And then let's see if we can start with the knee driving you forward here. Keep the pelvis in neutral if you can. So it might seem like this is really nitpicky. However, if you are doing all of your warrior twos with that tilt and this, there's lots of things you're not really building strength in. And then as you age, it starts to show up, right? As you start to change, your body changes. You don't do anything different and your body changes. Okay, now see if you can stretch that back leg. So the focus here is that stretch and the front knee just comes forward. Which feels better to you? There's no wrong answer. This is all about building awareness. Okay, now come into your warrior two posture. Hands can stay on your hips if you prefer. Otherwise, you're going to reach long. Fingertips reaching out. Fingers can come together. Take an inhale and an exhale. Is it hard to breathe? Are your toes clenching? Can you soften them? So this is not about doing less or being lazy in the pose. This is about finding ease in strength. The big difference. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And come on out, release the arms. You know, it's so funny as you turn your feet together and you heel toe. I remember when I started practicing yoga in the late 90s, so much of the practices were hatha based. And you know, we would hold warrior two for 20 breaths. And then after a while, I started trying the vinyasa. Then it was sort of newer then in the early 2000s. I was like, this is easy. Warrior two for 2 breaths instead of 20, easy. Anyways, shake it out, shake your shoulders. Let's do a big release. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, exhale, let it all out. Ah. And we can do an ahamkara here. Inhale, reach up. This time you're going to say ha from the diaphragm here, like ha, right? Inhale, exhale, ha. Ha. Go ahead, scare your neighbors. Ha. It's a great emotional release. Ha. Nice. And then hopefully that feels good. You can try that anytime you feel a little tension or clenching or any stuff like that. How do your hips feel? Hopefully they feel good. We're coming to the top of the mat. Let's do a little bit of arm strengthening before we finish for the day. We did lots on the hips, the knees, the ankles. Let's get up into the upper body a bit more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your feet back to a plank. Now you are welcome to drop to your knees. You are welcome to keep the knees up and drop to your knees when you feel like it. You're welcome if you have wrist sensitivities to come onto your forearms. So you decide what works for you and then see if you can breathe here. Oh, for about the next 10 breaths. Let's do it together. Inhale. And notice that I'm not cueing you for your bum to come into this line. That's quite painful for my low back. So think about the way that you stand, where your pelvis sits in space, whether it's up like this or down like this. That is going to be more reflective of your plank posture. Now I'm squeezing my legs together. I've completely lost count of my breath because I've been busy chatting with you. And press into your finger pads so there's some real support for your wrists. Make sure your shoulders aren't right over those wrists. That's really for the kind of practices like crow and practices that require a lot of mobility of the wrists. We're not really super interested in that. So let's take 3 more breaths. I'm starting to lose my breath talking and holding and aware of like this inner drawing in. You're doing great. And let's come on out. Nicely down, knees go wide. Sink the hips back. Well, I'm going to enjoy a good rest here. And feel free to be in stillness or rock side to side. Okay, let's do one more strength builder for the arms. Come on up, come out of that posture and come into your squat. Now, you've already had your legs fairly open. We did that goddess squat. We did a few warrior twos. So see if you can kind of widen out your feet a little. Legs on the outside of their arms. Squeeze your legs into your arms. Start to lean a little bit into the arms. And you know, it's really nice when you're first just kind of working into this posture to have a block there. It's more sort of for mental capacity. So leaning in, what's happening with your wrists? Are they comfortable? We don't want to overdo the wrists. So you can just come out and be in a squat. This is awesome. You are working a lot here. Okay, take a deep breath. Maybe leaning forward. Think about squeezing into like the way you are in a child's pose. See how I lift my hips up to come into this posture? And then I might pick up one toe and the other. See how my head is leaning forward? This is a lot about weight transfer, weight balancing between where my forehead is and where my feet are. So that's going to be different for everyone. So you can just lean forward and try these things out. If your wrists hurt, of course, you're going to give them a shake out. My wrists are really sensitive in my experience of perimenopause. It almost feels like I'm having a hot flush right now, but I'm just working hard and sweating. Take a deep breath. And just trying out those little things. Okay. Amazing work. I hope you're feeling good about that. Come on down onto your seat. Shake out your wrists. Bring your fingertips towards you on one hand. Take a relaxed shoulder. Yeah, so hot flushes are just because your body temperature isn't as quick to regulate as it used to be. Switch sides. That's part of, estrogen affects pretty much every organ system in your body. So you can do all the same things, same diet, same activity, and yet everything's just a little bit different. Sometimes now you're getting night sweats. There's 72 symptoms of perimenopause, from brain fog to frozen shoulder to dry skin, to a different kind of weight distribution in your body. So it's really helpful to know that this is very common. All right, let's come on to our backs. Take a little release and relax. Make sure that your nervous system is comfortable. I'm bringing my feet together and knees wide. If this is not relaxing for you, bring your feet wide and your knees together. So we're just pausing here to let settle the work we did. And if you feel like that was easy and I didn't do much, that's okay. What you did was you started to educate your body to be in strength building postures with perhaps not the old patterns and habits. And the other thing about perimenopause is you might feel this differently later compared to compared to previous experience. Okay. So we'll take about 1 minute. You can close your eyes. You can let your legs straighten out now, or you can keep them where they are. And see if you can focus on a nice, even and easy breath. Relax your shoulders if you can, kind of release a little bit more through your neck. Let your face and the skin around your eyes be soft. Feel your torso beginning to settle in your pelvis, and especially your glutes. See if their glutes are bracing or clenching. See if you can widen and relax them, even if you need to use your hands to do that. Legs, ankles, and feet. And you can stay there as long as you like. Otherwise, you can start to awaken your body, maybe make some movements. You can sit straight up if you like. And thank you so much for showing up today. It was great to be with you. And there's a few more videos in this series. Hopefully, they will serve you. Thank you so much.